Hey everybody, Shannon Scott. I always promise to take everybody to some place that's interesting for a minute. And I love hanging out with natural beauty and art and architecture, so you'll find me a lot of these days, or many days, inside of these old cemeteries. And I'm coming to you from Cave Hill Cemetery in Louisville or Lowellville, Kentucky. And of course, home to so many famous things like the Kentucky Derby, Churchill Downs, and all that stuff. But Cave Hill Cemetery, rank and file, is definitely one of the South's greatest, one of America's kind of empire rural cemeteries of the mid-19th century, and it's overwhelming at 120,000 burials. They do a great job here maintaining the grounds and looking out for the place, and we'll be back to do something on a less stormy, moody weekend. So we have a little break here in the sunshine. I wanted to film a little something to tease you all with. And hey, what way to better tease you than with the Shannon family vault of John Carrick Shannon. Oh, this thing is overwhelming, and using that word again, but there are a lot of light and dark elements here that just absolutely fascinate me. It's very Gothic, it's very ancient, and inside of the tomb, which goes into the hill behind a little bit, you have that columbarium, or not really the columbarium, but a mausoleum with caskets on shelves, maybe a couple dozen. And the names are Shannon, but there's also Northern Italian, which have Jewish roots. It's quite a mix, but then the whole vault is screaming, ancient everything. All of those lions' heads up there, which each have menacing expressions. Very, very few of them are duplicated. Well, there's a motif that is patterned, but almost like every other one or every other two are different. And some of them have very human faces. You have the flaming, supposedly in style anyway, the flaming hourglass, which is very chalice-like too, at the very top, and it has the crown. You have the Temple of Baal entrance, obviously the powerful columns invoking, the ancient gods and the ancient rulers. Way up at the top are horned, serpentining, Baphomet goat head styled lions with very evident horns. There's even a Moloch styled owl on another side of it, way up at the top of this monument, which is honestly straight Bohemian Grove, California. So it's ruling, it's power, it's all this ancient stuff made modern again inside the United States. And I know nothing about the family history, but it's quite a statement. They've also got quite a coat of arms up there, which is a sleeve-bearing, sword-bearing rather, arm that's raised in battle to crush the enemy. And then the expression "cavendo tutus," which I'm trying to think, what does that actually mean? But I think it somehow ties back to the Duke of Devonshire. Now, notably, on the reverse side of the vault, hidden away, is that same arm, less the laden, and the arm is actually not sleeve, but it's bare. I don't know if that's just weathering or that's an intentional thing. But yeah, there's a lot of light and dark inside of this vault. So it'd be interesting to break down some of the history and, of course, how that all ties into, the unseen side of our world. But anyway, wanted to walk over here to a simpler monument, a little, somehow more tender and benevolent and just basic, which is kind of nice too as a contrast. And that's the grave of J.F. Conrad, a very learned person, with his father Philip, I believe. His father was born in 1786. He died around 1865. Jacob, I believe, is the son that was born around the War of 1812, 1811. He died at the Civil War hours too, so fairly young guy. But I don't know anything about the family, except I know it's an expression of a learned family, a learned person, J.F. Conrad, with his stack of books. Now, the final chapter read, the final volume written. the bird in flight, which is a bit of a dove eagle, might even be an eagle, taking off with the quill pen out of the inkwell, which is there sort of at the base of the books, very nicely detailed. The parchment, heavenly, kind of covering the books, but it's very much about doing all that work in this life to earn the next. At the top, the acanthus leaves with possibly a rose there at the top. It's hard to say, but it's very eternal flame-like. Of course, the acanthus leaf was first placed on the graves of Roman soldiers to show their sort of, eternal fight in Valhalla and the way they honored that, plus the, kind of succulent plant would survive as a dead leaf there on the graves for some time, almost in perpetuity itself. So we find that replicated quite often in memorial arts. But yeah, we just love how detailed that is. The statement is unusual. The olive branch, which is tied up with a bow that's shaped like a heart, which really shows the love of the family. So just great little details like the olives. But anyway, a simpler statement done up in a simple way, which is quite a contrast to, as always, the elite grave there of the Shannon family, which, a lot of this that you find here in the cemeteries of this age very much resembles the nearby city. That high contrast between the elite of the town and maybe their neighbors. Everyone's a little different, right? So different types of reflections in the cemeteries. Pretty cool stuff. But we'll come back at another date and hopefully intrigue you with some stories about Cave Hill. Literally, we got a break in the rain today, and we thought it would be kind of cool to share a few things. They've got amazing urns in this place too that are real survivors. A lot of this stuff just didn't make it over time, but big bronze urns or copper, gorgeous. Well, guys, that's it from Cave Hill in Louisville, Kentucky. I hope you're doing well in the world. We'll be back one day to get a little more in depth here, but for now, we just thought we'd stop by and share some intrigue with you. But thanks for supporting the channel. Thanks for watching. Thanks for following me. We're building something here together, story stone by story stone, and we appreciate that. So we'll story you guys soon.